Hello everyone, welcome to my Let's Play Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance. This game was originally released in 2003. I did play it back when I was a kid, but it's been about 10 years since I've touched the title. But throughout the game I will have a rough understanding of what's going on and what I need to be doing. So let's go ahead and go through this little opening scene here. So this is telling a story about an old war between man and dragon. A war called the Scouring. It seems like mankind was able to conquer the dragons and push them back and, keep themselves alive. Alright, millennium, that's what, 1,000 years? So 1,000 years has gone by. We haven't seen those dragons. And with that, the game is starting up. New game. No data. That's right, so during the game, you will be playing sort of like a bird's eye view. It's a, I guess the best way to describe it is it's a tactical RPG. It kind of reminds me of chess a little bit. Yeah. Alright, what's my name? See if I can fit it in here. Probably won't be able to. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a tactical RPG. You play from bird's eye view, and you just kind of move your units around the map. And throughout the game, you play the role of a tactician. And I can't do that, so let's go with my very, very old school name I used to use when playing games. Just go with hero. These are the settings I want to use. Alright, let's get it started. Prologue. A girl from the plains. So this right here is going to introduce our main character. Her name is Lyndis. She's from the Lorca tribe. And I'm guessing she just kind of found me and just trying to get to know me right now. I guess it is an odd sounding name, seeing as how it's not really a name. Basically what she's saying is that I look dirty. Well, it seems like our conversation's being interrupted by something outside. Let's go see what it is. Uh-oh. That doesn't look very good. Bandits! Bandits from the mountains. We got mountain bandits. That's not good. You sure you can do that alone? Alright. She thinks she can handle them. Man, what kind of bandits plan a raid of just 2 guys, though? Seems like you're setting yourself up for failure right there. Strategist. How do you say that? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't think so. Alright, so this is explaining right here. You know, units under your control are going to be blue throughout the game, and enemy units are going to be red. Green units are neutral. I don't think they really work for either faction. They just kind of, you know, they're doing their own thing. I think in most scenarios, if there's a green unit on the field, they're usually helping you out in some way. They're attacking the red units. I don't ever think you'll come across an instance where a green unit is attacking blue units. It's just kind of explaining, you know, how to move around. I know all this stuff. Let's go ahead and get moving. Oh, they see us, they're gonna come and attack us now. Oh, but they're not in range. So I think how this works is, you know, you have a certain accuracy depending on what direction you're attacking from. So if I come at him head on, obviously he's going to see me. There's a greater chance he'll dodge my attack. If I come at him from the side, you know, his peripheral vision, he can still see me, and there's still a chance he'll dodge my attack. And if you come from behind, they don't know you're there, and I think the success of your attack landing increases considerably. I'm going to go ahead and move behind him and attack him here. Right here you can see, you know, you got your weapons you can choose to attack from. Right now all I have is an iron sword, but it tells you, you know, the attack damage, the hit, the crit, avoid. We'll go a little bit further into those stats later in the game. And then it throws you into a little battle animation. Seems that Lyn gets 2 attacks. I don't know if, I can't remember if that's standard for everyone. But that might just be a skill unique to her. Alright, he's dead. Got some XP from winning that fight. So, if I remember correctly, how it works is, you know, in structures like how this last bandit is standing, you can see he has like a little shield emblem flesh next to him. Now, I can't remember if that means he's the boss, or if that's just because of where he's standing. Either way, that I know with structures like that, if you're standing there, it gives you a sort of a stat boost. You know, defense, you heal up after every fight, so it's just easier to stay alive. And generally, you know, you want to put your players on those spots and try to get enemies off of them as soon as you can. And as you can see, enemies that are on top of them usually won't leave them either. They understand, you know, the AI is pretty smart. He knows that that's a good spot to be at, and he's going to stay there. Who do you think you are? Think you can stand up to Bada the Beast? Yeah, I do actually. That hurt. So let's see what happens here. He does a lot of damage to me, and it's his turn now. So if he hits me, it's game over. And you can see it there, like I was saying, he gets a little heal. It just makes my world a lot more challenging too. And even with my second hit, oh, what's this? I'm gonna land a critical hit. So whenever you do critical hits in this game, it's kind of neat. You do a special animation, so it's fun to play through and get everyone's critical hits, and, you know, see how cool it looks, and just, you know, how badass they can be. There you go, I got my first level up. What's also neat about this game is, you know, XP, like the needed XP to level up doesn't scale throughout the game. It's always 100. So you don't have to worry about grinding in levels or anything like that. So yeah, it's just explaining here, you know, as you level up your stats increase, which, you know, if you're playing this game, you should already know that. Alright, so in this game, some missions you'll have where you need to defeat everyone on the map, but generally you beat the game, or you beat the level, my mistake, by seizing, you know, that spot that the boss was standing on. So it's not really needed to, you know, kill everyone to clear the mission. So, you know, if you're in a tight situation, you can just go straight for the boss, kick him off his throne and seize it, and then that's the end of it. You've won that chapter. Alright, so it's the next morning. Apparently the fight yesterday took a lot out of me, even though I was standing in the background just kind of pointing. So now Lynn, she's gonna ask me to, you know, help her out with something. I guess she wants to travel with me. And, you know, me, of course, you know, being the responsible guy, you know, I need a permission slip first. And then she's gonna tell me this, you know, this sob story about how her parents died 6 months ago, and I'll have no choice but to feel bad for her and let her come along with me. She's telling me now that she's also the last of her tribe, which is really increasing that, you know, guilt trip she's trying to push on me. Now I'm kind of confused. Are you the last of your tribe, or are you just not a part of your tribe because no one will follow you? Either way, you gotta stop crying, Lynn. That's not the way to do it. It's not the warrior's way. Alright, Lynn. Well, I'll travel with you. Help you get stronger so you can avenge your father's death. That's right. You can't become stronger by sitting still. It's a good life lesson, everybody. You can't do anything if you stay in one spot. Yeah. Don't prompt me for a yes or no menu. Just, sure, come with me. Me and you, against the world. Alright, so after every chapter you're prompted to save, so it's nice, you know, if you clear the chapter you get to save, you don't really have to worry about, you know, your battery dying and losing progress or anything like that. I mean, of course, your battery dies in the middle of a chapter. That sucks. Now we're getting a little view of the world here. It's displayed, you know, on a crappy 2D map, but what can you expect from a Game Boy Advance game? It seems like we're gonna go to the, you know, a big trade town here. And that's already telling us right here, you know, that's, you know, some foreshadowing. We've got these 2 blue units coming up, which tells me that they're gonna be joining my party. Chapter 1, Footsteps of Fate. So Lynn's telling us that we need to get some supplies for our journey here. And I agree, that's, you know, it's a good idea. Let's stock up on stuff. And then we've got this guy. He's just gonna walk up and just start flirting with Lynn. And is he asking her? What exactly is he implying by asking for her company? Okay, so he's a knight, it seems. Home to men of passion and fire. Yeah, I think I kind of have a rough understanding of what he meant by her company. But it seems Lynn can hold her own too. She's not having any of his shit. And this guy's just not giving up. He's pretty. You gotta give him props. You know, he's persistent. And then you got this other guy. So it seems like we've got, you know, that typical archetype of, you know, young, flirtatious knight and the more, you know, battle-hardened knight. Since they're on a mission right now. Yeah, what do you know of courtesy? Oh, Lynn's coming back, and seems that she can't walk around. So, was I wrong? Is this guy, like, taking a different approach at flirting? Okay, so maybe he actually does remember her from some past time. Maybe she looks like someone he knows. Alright, so it's for sure. One of them is a jerk and one of them is honorable. Continue. Okay, so it seems like Lynn is someone important, and that their mission was actually to find her. Alright, now it's flashing up to another scene, and it seems that we're being chased here. Lynn seems to think it's those knights. No, it's not them. These guys are out for blood. Okay, so this guy knows me. I wonder if he's coming to get revenge for the mountain bandits that we killed in the last mission. Wow. Well, you know, at least he's, you know, showing some form of regret. You know, he doesn't want to kill her, but, you know, if the price is right. Alright, so I was able to take on two guys barely the last mission. Now it's, you know, their numbers are double, and I'm not sure if I can do this alone. Good news is, I'm pretty sure that those knights are about to show up and help me out. Alright, so he may be a sleaze when it comes to talking to people, but as far as, you know, some aspects of morals, you know, he knows that this is wrong, you know, so many people against a girl, and he's pretty upset about it. Alright, just gonna stand up and protect the people in need. That's the way of a knight, right? And Lynn, you know, she doesn't want any help here. You know, I can do this on my own. But, you know, me, you know, I know that you can't, Lynn, so just keep your mouth shut. We need their help. And this guy, he doesn't even know who I am, but he's just gonna look at me and assume that, you know, hey, you don't have a weapon, so, tell me what to do. And, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so he wants to attack first. That's fine, I can do that. Alright, so you can see I can mouse over all my different units here. You know, kind of learn a little bit about their stats. You know, I've got my first two units here that are on horseback. Now you'll see, you know, if I try to move Lynn, or I can't show you. This guy really wants to go first. People on horseback can move a lot further across the map than other players can. As you can see, I've got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is that good math? I don't know. No, it's 6. Okay, so I can move 6 tiles. Moving through things like forest, though, that'll slow you down a little bit. So you can see, going this direction, I only have 5 tiles in my favor. But I'm gonna move up next to this bandit, and I'm gonna attack him. And it seems that he, I've got a spear here. He has an axe, so he has a weapon advantage on me. I'm gonna miss my attack, and Sacean is gonna make a fool of himself. He's gonna get hit and gain 1 XP. Not very impressive. And so, just by that comment alone, you can tell, he's kind of young, doesn't have much experience on the battlefield. Okay, so not only does he, not have much experience on the battlefield, he's also forgetful. He's kind of cocky too. I wouldn't be surprised, if I see him dying sometime later in the game. I mean, of course, I'm not going to let that happen. I have control over him. But you get my point. It's almost more trouble than he's worth, which means that he has some value. Alright, so this is explaining, how weapons work in this game. Swords will beat axes, axes will beat lances, and lances will beat swords. And I think somewhere in there, bows come into play as well. But I don't think any weapon is better than a bow, nor is any weapon, worse than a bow. So it's just kind of, a neutral ground when it comes to ranged weapons. Alright, so we're gonna use Kent here, the better of the 2 knights that have joined my party. And so you can see right here, the stat difference between a sword and a lance. Lance does a little bit more damage, but the accuracy is lower, and I want to be able to land my attacks right now. Because it doesn't matter if you can do 500 damage, if you've only got a 3% chance of landing the attack. I'd rather do 10 damage with a 100% chance of landing it. Alright, so we're gonna, form a little triangle up on this guy, and, he doesn't know what's coming. He's done. Bam. He's gonna try to hit me, I'm gonna dodge it, I'm gonna finish him off. Alright. So that was my first turn, got to move all my units. Now it seems that, only 2 of them are progressing up on us. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split my party up a little bit. And I'm going to send Sacean. I guess the game doesn't want me to make my own decisions. Never mind. I'll have to wait a little bit till I can start, performing my own tactics. Yeah, but now I get to finally bust out my sword with Sacean, which is going to be good. But I'm still gonna miss. And I think I already mentioned it before. Or no, if you pass through woods, it slows down your movement. But also, taking cover in places like woods and mountains actually decreases the chance that the enemy will hit you, which is pretty useful and something that you'll want to apply throughout the game. And I guess I'm getting ahead of myself right here. They're explaining that right now. Look closely, the enemy is hidden in the woods. The branches make it difficult to attack, don't they? You're right, I was so focused on attacking that I didn't realize I'm an idiot. That's right, Kent, you tell him. And you don't understand, Sacean, he's just, he's worried because you're gonna die. And that looks bad on him. Alright. You don't gotta tell me every time you're ready for battle, though. That's gonna get old pretty soon. Alright, let's use your sword to attack. Show me what you got. Alright. And he's gonna miss, of course, because Kent's pretty badass. Alright, so Lynn's gonna say, you know, I'm gonna go take care of these other guys here. Let's go ahead and move into this forest here. You know, this guy's picking a fight that he can't win. Alright, so now I got some dialogue between Saint and Lyn here. This guy, he's kind of oblivious to what's going on, you know, doesn't bring the right weapons into battle, you know, doesn't pay attention to the terrain, doesn't even realize that he's been wounded. I'm kind of wondering how he even became a knight in the first place. You know, maybe his dad or something, maybe someone in his family's, you know, important role in the military, and that's how he got in. Alright, so now I'm gonna go over here and trade an item over to Saint so he can heal himself, because, you know, of course, he's irresponsible, and, you know, didn't pack anything to heal himself in combat either. Alright, so I'm gonna run up to Lyn, select the trade menu, and I'm gonna ask for, so here's the trade menu right here, and, you know, I can toggle it back and forth across both players' inventories and swap items. So I'm going to go ahead and give him my vulnerary that has 2 uses left, because I want to keep the better one for myself, since I am being generous here. Alright, now I've made that trade, and I can go ahead and heal myself up. There you go, I'm fully healed and I'm ready for battle. I've got my sword. Hopefully this time Saint will, you know, play a little bit smarter. Good thing about this game is, even though, you know, his character is a complete idiot, I'm not. So I can, you know, control him, you know, kind of lead him in the right direction. And he's just constantly with the flirting. So you can see, after I finish up my actions, I still had 1 move left. And so I'm going to use that to, you know, move right here. Excuse me. I apologize. Alright, so this chapter's goal is to defeat all enemies. Check the chapter goal in the window of the upper right of the screen. To open the map menu, place a cursor on an unoccupied space and press A. Alright, so that's just kind of telling me, you know, how I can, you know, check the map. Got my options here. I can view my units. I can check the status, you know, how many units are left on my team, how many are left in the enemy's team. It even tells me, you know, my play time in the game. And it's, you know, got a live feed too, so, you know, each second is, you know, compressing. I got my options. Game speed, let's go ahead and move that up to fast. Change my text speed up too. Go ahead and mess with these settings while I've got the chance. And green's my favorite color, so I'm going to go with green here. Go ahead and move Kent back behind this guy, finish him off with his sword. And that's that. Now I believe the numbers are in my favor. 3-2, or no, it's 3-3 still. Okay, I've still got this though. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna move Lyn and have her wait in these woods here, which apparently was a terrible idea. It seems that the AI knows that Saint is an idiot and they're gonna go for him. Which, you know, I can't blame them. You know, smart decision. I'm gonna go ahead and move Saint up here to block this bridge, and I have Lyn come down, hide in these woods, and finish this guy off. Yeah, there's not a chance he can land an attack on me. Lynn's gonna pick up this easy kill. I believe that's enough to level her up too. Oh, guess not. Alright, let's move him up here. Actually, I'm gonna move him up here and get him ready to start taking on the boss. Now I can't remember if bridges provide any sort of, you know, stat advantage, but if they do, that guy might have a little bit something going for him. Go ahead and check that out. They don't. So you can see right here, being in a forest adds 1 defense and 20 evasion. Being in mountains adds 1 defense and 30 evasion. And everything else is just kind of normal. You know, it doesn't really do anything for you. Alright, let's see where Lynn can go. I think, if I remember correctly, you can even pick up units in this game, which is a pretty neat feature. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Lynn up, and she's a little bit far away from that battle, and I want to get her, you know, into the action as soon as possible. I'm going to finish off this bandit on the bridge. And, you know, like I said, bosses, they don't move, which is, you know, sometimes annoying. It's whatever, though. But it allows you to set up your units for the next fight. We're gonna go ahead and drop Lynn off here, end my turn, and we're gonna get ready to fight this guy 3-on-1. Seems I can only move 2 of my guys up to engage him though, so I'll move Ken up. I'm gonna let these 2 knights here fight just because Lynn's already killed some people, she's got some XP, and I want to keep my team a little bit balanced. This guy kind of talks some trash. You know, he's upset that these knights came in to, you know, ruin his mission. But you know what? That's what happens when you have the life of a bandit. You don't know what's going to happen to you. Some knights might show up and just ruin your day. Alright, so pretty sure Kent can survive another attack. I'm going to move Lynn up here and get her ready. He can survive. He's going to finish up the game here with a nice little crit. That's nice. He kind of twirls his sword and just smacks the guy across the head. Judging by his character art, that's, you know, happened to him before. You know, it seems like someone was contracting this bandit to come and kill Lynn. Maybe that's the same, you know, whoever... you know, an opposite faction to Kent and Sacean. Maybe they're rivals or something. You know, it seems like they're both looking for Lynn. Alright, there goes Kent's first level up. Level 2. HP and speed. Nice. Alright, that's the last of them. Fantastic work, hero. I didn't really do anything. You guys did all the fighting, though. And this is how most dialogue will, you know, happen throughout the game. You'll see, you know, just a still image, and the characters will talk. And now for these knights of Lycia, I don't know. I'm just never gonna say that name again because I don't know how to pronounce it. You're gonna share your story with me, right? Okay, so they're telling us that they, you know, they've come from their homeland looking for someone. Madeline. Okay. So it says right here, you know, there was a lord, you know, of the country that they're from, who had a daughter. And at 19 years old, she ran away and eloped and married someone. And, you know, the father is so heartbroken that he just says, I don't have a daughter. You're not a part of my family. Well, a year ago, the daughter writes back and says that she's living in, you know, the Sacae Plains, which is where Lynn lives. And I'm gonna, you know, he has a granddaughter of 18 years old. So, he announces he's become a grandfather, and that his granddaughter's name is Lyndis, which I'm going to assume is our main character here. So Lynn is named after her, what is it, grandmother, I believe. So, you know, the Lord, he learns that he has a granddaughter. She's been named after his wife, his late wife. And, you know, that kind of warms his heart, and he decides, you know, maybe I should take them back into my family. He just wants to meet his daughter's family at least once. And that's why the knights are there. They're looking for Lynn. Oh. And so a few days after sending that letter, she passed away. I'm going to assume that was the 6 months ago whenever Lynn's tribe was attacked by bandits. And Lynn is that daughter that they're looking for. Alright. So they're saying Lynn looks just like her mother, and that there are portraits of her hanging up throughout the castle. So, you know, Lynn, she's got her eyes closed here. You know, she's kind of thinking, you know, this is really good news to her. She thought she was alone. Now she's learning that she has a grandfather who wants to meet her. And, you know, not only does she have a grandfather, this guy's kind of important. So, you know, Lynn obviously has this desire to set out on an adventure. Maybe she's thinking, I can meet up with this guy and maybe join his army. See, you know, she's finally realizing that she has a future for herself besides just traveling around with some guy she found in the field. Alright, so it seems like there is someone else out there. Lord Lundgren. That's an interesting name. Lundgren. Who's that? He's the Marquise's younger brother. Everyone assumed the Lady Madeline was gone forever. This made Lord Lundgren heir to the Marquise's title. Okay, so her granduncle sent bandits out to kill her because if she comes back, she can claim the throne, and he doesn't want that. He wants that title for himself. And Lynn, you know, she has no interest in inheriting any title. And, you know, her uncle, he doesn't believe that. You know, he's gonna play safe first. Alright, so Lynn's gonna accompany the two knights back to their homeland so she can meet her grandfather. Alright, so now it's, you know, dialogue between, me as the player and Lynn. She's asking me what I want to do. Do I want to travel with her and help her out? Or do I want to go on my own way? And of course, you know, I'm not going to be prompted to say yes or no. I'm just going to say yes because, you know, that's the kind of guy that I am. Yeah, sure. Of course I'll come with you, Lynn. You need my help. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end episode 1 of my Fire Emblem Let's Play here. And we'll go ahead and pick up with, what is it? It's going to be chapter 2, I believe, right? Sword of Spirits. Alright.